Hi everyone. Today I'll speak about SLOs and climate change and how I think SLOs are a great framework to continuously reduce the climate impact of tech services. Actually, this is part one regarding the climate footprint of digital services. If you are interested in only in the SLOs parts, you can jump directly on the part two. But if you're interested in that theory part, let's jump in. So first, I'll briefly introduce myself. My name is Benoît Petit. I'm a systems engineer, or at least I've worked as such in several companies. I was pretty happy at my last job, but I left it last year, and I guess you'll understand why I did that in the next slides. So I left my previous company and I created Hublot, and Hublot's mission is to help organizations to measure, understand, and shrink the impact of their digital services on climate and the environment. But how about this climate change anyway? Like, what should you care? Why should I care? I'm not a climatologist, so I won't make any great demonstration regarding climate, but I just want to highlight one information that's really explicit to me. 2020 has been the warmest year in Europe ever recorded, according to Météo France. And if the business as usual curve stays the standards, in 2070 we may have temperatures highs of 50 degrees Celsius in France, which is equivalent to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty hot, especially for France, where we don't have hot temperatures even in the summer. And it brings a lot of problems, as you may have guessed. And one of those problems is that we don't know how to grow food in those conditions. So that's really a big issue. So why is that and what should we do about it? On the left side, you have a chart that represents the carbon concentration in the atmosphere. This is basically where we are now. On the right of the chart, you have this big anomaly regarding carbon concentrations, which is corresponding to the modern era. So basically what we have to do is to flatten this curve at a level that's more natural and that doesn't implies huge temperatures in the future. On the right side, we have a chart that represents what we should do about it. This is according to the IPCC, that's the global panel of experts regarding climate change and its consequences. According to them, we have to reach global carbon neutrality by 2050. But actually that target is a bit old now, and the more we wait, the sooner we have to reach it. So it's now or never. And what to do about it? So the first axis to act is carbon emissions reduction at the source, meaning analyzing our activities and changing the way we perform those activities so that we don't emit much carbon than the Earth and the natural ecosystems are able to absorb. Two other options are carbon capture and carbon offsetting, like planting trees to absorb the previous emissions. I really want to insist that the main axis and the most efficient one is carbon reduction. To put it simply, we wouldn't have enough room on Earth to plant enough trees to offset all our current emissions without reducing it in the first place. And I mean, we should reduce those emissions drastically. So keep that in mind when you hear organizations or companies, climate engagements saying that they will capture and offset a lot of carbon emissions and rely on that to reach their carbon neutrality objectives. That's basically greenwashing. So regarding the tech industry's footprint on climate, because we are tech workers, where are we? It's about 4% of the greenhouse gas emissions in the world in 2020. 4% may seem low, but actually it's equivalent to what is emitting the global planes industry in the world. And if we keep the business as usual curve, it will be up to 8% in 2025, which is equivalent to what the personal cars emit in the world. So we are not on a sustainable path at all. And to reach the global carbon neutrality goal, we have to reduce by 45% the digital greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. So let's do it. If we keep a closer eye on that, what should we focus on? If we look at this issue from the energy consumption proxy metric, we see that 60% of the energy consumption is due to user devices, digital devices, the screens, the laptops, the smartphones, the smart TV, etc. So the first responsibility we have as an individual is to extend the lifetime of those devices, repair, reuse, and recycle those devices, and not buying more or buying way less devices than we do today. But we are tech workers, so I think we have a real responsibility on the other part, which is the infrastructure, the services and their infrastructures, meaning the data centers and the networks, which are together about 40% of the global energy consumption. If we look at the electricity usage of data centers, which is maybe the part where we have the most impact as SREs, researchers estimate that the electricity consumption of data centers may be tripled by 2030. So it's really the opposite of what we should do regarding climate change. So the next part will be about how to implement SLOs for climate objectives to keep track of the climate impact of your services and how to reduce that impact. So if you're interested, please look at the second video, and see you around.